Fear and judgment. So I'm going to start with fear. I think fear is a choice, and I think the only time fear should be associated with public speaking is when there is a complete negative and harmful effect. And the best example I can think of is, for example, how I said in my introduction video that um, I was sweaty and nervous presenting to all the bigwigs of my company. Potentially, my fear was getting fired, which doesn't only affect me, but it affects my family as well. Um, that I think is legitimate. Other than that, I don't think fear is legitimate for public speaking. It's just something you gotta overcome and deal with, and everybody has it at one point or another. Judgment. Um, I think judgment is good. You get personal viewpoints from different personalities, and it's very diverse. Um, Criticism, I think, is good too, but there is constructive and destructive criticism. If someone's going to sit there and just tell you you're completely wrong and just a mess up and you're worth nothing, and that, there's a harmful effect to that, and moral and self-esteem and etc., etc., etc. The A lot of people, if you're giving a presentation to them, aren't going to do that. Usually it's friends, close relatives that'll do something like that, and it's only because they're giving you a hard time. I'd say 98% of the time. Other than that, you're going to get positive feedback, things you could work on, things you did great, how people related, so on and so forth, which I think is great. The biggest thing for me, I'd have to say my biggest problem is speaking to people I don't know. It's a lot easier to me to speak with a group of people I do know. Even a little bit's better than nothing. Even the thing I gotta do when I talk to a group of people I don't know is just focus in my head, take a few deep breaths, and jump into it. And for example, in class, I'm usually one of the first people to volunteer to go first in presentations or speaking or anything like that, so I can get my stuff out of the way personally. But then that gives me an opportunity to see if people are going to present the same way I did, if they're going to take a different approach, um, those kinds of things. Um, my next biggest thing I'd have to say is I'm very fidgety, which is a sign of being nervous. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm nervous in particular, but I've always been fidgety. Talking, sitting, if my mind's going, I'm moving one way or the other. And it can be misinterpreted from time to time. So it all depends on each person individually and how they approach each situation. Thanks.